Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I mentioned it before the commercial break. I am joined by Ravage tonight. Ravage, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. First MLG cast. I'm pretty hyped up here.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you. We hunted you down, and now we finally got you on the show. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what you've done before, in case anyone doesn't know you yet?
Well, my background, I used to play in the Battlefield scene, was probably what I'm most well known for in BF3 in the pro scene, as well as coaching and managing in the BF4 pro scene. And since then, I've done a lot of stuff with Mortality Esports over the last 2 years. Managing, coaching there, right into the Xbox scene here with the two Smite teams that come up here. But other than that, lately I've been casting. I'm doing a lot of casting over the last 2 months.
Yeah, you actually did some stuff with Hi-Rez too, and yeah, now you're here. It looks like picks and bans are getting started too, so we get to jump right in.
Awesome.
So
that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, moving right on over. Gonna figure out which team is which in just a second, but we're seeing both the bans come through. The first ban for Order and Chaos already in. I'm assuming off of that ISIS ban that's against Mace to the Face.
That's a target ban right there. You have to look at, we have Denial coming over to the Xbox scene, and they have a ton of information out about them right now. We know what they're picking in SPL, what they favored during this full year, and what they've done in the last patch. It's all out there. It's all, it's all out in the open. So Aware can just come in here and they can actually target ban these guys. But the thing they have to be careful of, you target ban these guys, they're going to be strong with all the gods. These are pro players from the PC scene.
Yeah, and now with these targeted bans, we're leaving up some really scary stuff. We might see a Sun Wukong here.
Yeah, we see Sun Wukong up here. We see Hell up here.
Yeah, there we go.
I'd look for an Odin pick to counteract that very quickly.
Yeah, so the Hell is going to get locked in right away. Odin would be a reasonable pick. It's a big move, though, to pick Odin this early on. That's the only thing I'm a little skeptical of.
Well, he can be picked out pretty quickly with an Awilix pick up as well, if you pick up the Odin. Another safe pick could really be the Circuit pick as well, with that 100% healing reduction. That can be absolutely detrimental to the enemy team, and that's up as well. We're going to see the Odin picked up first, however, and that could be a flex pick. That can be support, jungle, or a solo lane pick.
Yeah, going back to Sarkett, we actually haven't seen any Sarkett in the Pro League yet, and Sarkett's such a strong god in the jungle. I'm curious as to why we haven't seen one yet.
It's interesting. It's a real high tier pick right now. I believe it's S tier. So with that being said, I mean, it's crazy to think that it's been open in so many of these games without being banned out, and it has not been picked up. That is a high skill champion that you see those high tier junglers on the big teams, that they usually want to pick that up because it's a place for them to showcase their skill and be able to carry the enemy team. We're going to see Khepri here, however.
Khepri, and this is already looking really scary. Khepri and Hell. So I'm assuming Hell most likely going to be in support here. Khepri in mid.
No. Khepri is a support character. The only other place you'll usually see Khepri was used a lot in the OCE scene for the solo lane. We're going to see Hell is a flex pick, however, for the mid lane or the solo lane. Her sustain, however, is better suited for the solo lane. They're really going to have to judge this based on whether Odin is going jungle or to the solo.
So why are we seeing Hell? Why would she be good top against someone like, she could potentially be matched up in the solo lane against Xing Chen?
Xing Chen could very well. See, these are all flex picks on the side of Aware right now. They're playing the guessing game, as they were second pick here. They don't really know where the former Denial team is going with their picks and bans, so they're picking up these flex picks. Xing Chen can go support. He can go solo. So we could see these picks go anywhere. Odin can be played in 3 different roles right now.
Yeah, we're going to see the Sun Wukong get banned here, which is a reasonable ban. Definitely a reasonable ban. Super scary god. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would have banned him here. I'm not sure if they would go for him here.
At this point, it looks like the solo picks have been shored up. So with that being said, it is an interesting ban, but you don't want to see him on the board. It's interesting to see that he went this far without being picked up. With the Bluestone Sun Wukong, he is incredibly strong right now and can body almost any solo laner. There's only a couple that can really go toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah, he just has such high sustain, and he can clear waves for days and then still poke. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, in early game, Hell is likely going to be able to, is not going to be able to outclear the Wukong, but as we get later in the game, she will be able to out-sustain him with the heals, so maybe that was a consideration as well.
Sobek getting picked up. That's a really good choice for them, because that's just taking it off the board for XGN, and you do not want to give them Sobek. You just do not want to give them Sobek. they are so good with that god. Would have been terrifying.
There are a lot of flex picks still. Sobek can be played in the solo lane as well as support. So I'm not really sure where is going with some of these picks right now. They have a heavy front line. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of lockdown, however. You're going to see that at Willix. That's going to be the storyline, however, in picks and bans right now. And Watt is actually going to lose picks and bans for Aware. Willix just completely counters the Odin. Just completely counters it. Oh, she can... Every time, Odin is the most predictable god when you're playing a Willix, because every time he charges up that shield, you know his intention. You know to have your hand ready on the Y button to be able to pull him out of that jump.
Yeah, and it's hard to actually find gods that match up super well without some sort of setup, but Odin just, you don't even need setup. You get to push the Y, and you get rewarded for it.
Yeah, and we're not even going to see any knockups here on the side of the former Denial squad, XGN now, as... they just have all that setup, like you said, in the Odin. The highest steroid in the game on a Willix, and, you know, with perfect setup as well to be able to pull that Odin almost every time he goes for that hard engage.
Yeah, so who do you think we're going to see get locked in last for Aware Gaming right now?
We're all
Zeus.
There's the Zeus.
It had to happen. Again. It had to happen. It's legal. We don't know how. We just know it's legal. We're not the refs.
It's an anomaly.
So
for sure.
XGN actually did pick Zeus last time, and they didn't win the match. So maybe he's not too broken. Maybe.
I think it depends really on the team comp. What you're going to see Aware hoping for here is they're going to look for the circle ults, right? So you got Odin to set up for Zeus with the Ring of Spears. The thing that Denial has to be careful of here, or I should keep saying Denial because I'm so used to that.
Yeah, very understandable.
XGN, however, they're going to have to be careful of is the Willix pulls the Odin, and the Odin puts down the Ring of Spears on top of the Hell and gets that healing reduction. And then Zeus ults, or Jing Chen gets in there as well on the front line, or Sobek. That might cause problem for XGN as well. So that's something they need to be careful of.
Yeah, definitely have to be careful in team fights. But when we actually look at the laning phase, how do you think this actually stacks up for both teams?
It's going to be really interesting. That's a Hell mid right there. So she's not going to have the actual sustain from the mana side of things. So she's going to have to be careful with her lane clear. The Zeus and the Hell, I think it's going to be a wash early on who's going to be able to outclear who. I think it's really going to come down to who the jungle is on either side. Odin's lane clear early on is obviously going to heavily assist Zeus with the wave clear against the Willix Hell combo. So if that's the case, pre-level 5, wave clear may be in favor of the mid lane on Aware. But once level 5 hits, it goes downhill for them.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. I'm curious to see, though, how important the laning phase is actually going to be. Because, it's obviously very important, but like you said, these teams, incredibly strong comps in the team fights later on. So if it's a bit of a stalemate, it kind of just comes down to those team fights.
Yeah, so what we're going to see here, Odin actually is going to be in the jungle. So that's going to be a troubling matchup for him after level 5. We're going to see T-Small pick up that Odin. He is the jungler for Aware. We're also going to see Jing Chen is going to be in the soul lane matching up against the Guan Yu. Guan Yu has a lot of sustain in lane as well. You see that XGN has really laid on the healing meta right here with the conviction and the ability to heal up in team fights from the Hell. They have a lot of healing on their side. They don't have a huge beefy front line right now compared to the Aware team, but just watch for them to be able to just get in there, do their damage, walk on out, heal back up, get back into the fight, and just whittle down Aware's team. Yeah,
Aware's team does look pretty beefy, though. You got a lot of big gods here. Mostly Xing Chen and Sobek, and also Odin. Pretty tanky. The Guan Yu, definitely a tankier god, but like you said, really focusing on the healing from both Hell and Guan Yu, and Khepri.
Yeah, the nice thing about the Guan Yu pick as well is he can be used in an armor shredding comp as well. He's good at getting in there with the assault and just shredding through the enemy's armor. So very good pick when you're looking at a heavy front line with the Odin, Jing Chen, and the Sobek as well.
Yeah, so talk me through the solo lane right now. I'm really interested to see what's going to go on there.
It's going to be an interesting matchup here for sure. Guan Yu is, I think, we haven't seen too much of Jing Chen, okay, is the issue. But Guan Yu may be able to outclear him early. It's really a toss-up. These guys are just going to be trading blows all game. I don't know if one's going to be able to burst down the other. Guan Yu is going to be able to obviously out-sustain Jing Chen just a little bit. I think it really depends if Jing Chen can land an ult to toss Guan Yu behind tower, it's whoever reaches level 5 first, right? If you can toss him in the tower pre-level 5, you may get the first blood there, but I think that's going to be a slow lane and one that the junglers are going to have to focus if they want it to turn either way.
Yeah, I was really surprised last night. We saw Jing Chen get locked in and do a lot of work in the top lane. And I was talking to Transonics, and I asked him the same question. I was like, what do you think is going to happen in the solo lane? How do you think this matchup's going to go? And he looked at me and he was just like, I do not know. It is weird to see Jing Chen matched up against a lot of these gods in the top lane. Like you said, we haven't seen a lot of him, but he's definitely starting to prove his worth.
He is. He's being shown as a top tier pick right now, which is really interesting to see. It's going to be interesting because we have two experienced players here. Obviously, we have Bobby. He's going to be up in the solo lane, which I think is Drelo.
Drelo.
Formerly of Disney Acceleration. A lot of members from that team actually are littered throughout the Xbox Pro scene right now. Like Jelly, another notable one, and Mystics as well, another guy who's in the scene as well. So a lot of those guys have, from that little kerfuffle back about a year ago, Clow around as well from 5 a.m. from that little tussle as well. So it's really interesting to see all these guys from the PC
Drelo's
scene.
also, he's new to solo, correct?
I don't know if he's new to solo per se, but he's new to the Xbox scene from what I know.
Yeah, so when I was talking to Mace earlier today, he was kind of giving me a breakdown of what everyone was going to be playing, and the only thing he told me about Drelo, he said he is new to solo. So I don't know much about him as a player, so I'm curious to see how he does perform.
I can't recall what position he played with Disney Acceleration, but they were a top-tier challenger team in Season 1. So regardless if he's new to solo lane or not, I think he does have the knowledge with the matchups. He's been playing the game long enough that he may be able to be sufficient to go up against Candyman.
Yeah, and Candyman definitely not someone who you could consider a pushover by any means. Definitely knows his way around the solo lane. But
no, that's for sure. We have two seasoned players going at it right here. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these matchups size up. I think the big question though is one we haven't talked about is the carry lane. We have Cruxy with his second turn here at the carry lane. Yeah,
locking in the Shibalanka too. Shibalanka too, definitely not going to have the same wave clearing potential as Medusa early on. So we might see, what do you think we'll actually see in that lane? I could see Medusa maybe drawing first blood.
Yeah, we're going to see Medusa. It's going to be a wave push war that Khepri and Medusa are going to win consistently just because the acid spray and the ability for Khepri to clear. You're going to watch him miss the dash, though, here in the dual lane to start. And that's going to be really the key here. If Khepri and Medusa are able to keep Cruxy and Blackside pushed here. The thing with Cruxy and Blackside, they had to be cautious of getting too aggressive. They had to be prepared to lose a couple minions to tower, and they are going to lose that battle for level 5 if they do that. But they have to take solace in the fact that their jungle is going to get in here. We got a game pause?
Yeah, a little bit of a game pause. Not quite sure what it is. Control room will definitely get back to us as soon as they know. But yeah, as far as the starts go, pretty standard starts. We saw everyone attack the camps that we thought they would attack, and everyone move right into lane. But looking at this duo lane, I definitely do agree with you. It is going to be a wave push war, and Medusa has so much potential to do that effectively. And Khepri also does have... Khepri can initiate pretty well here as well.
Yeah, Khepri can initiate well. I think the story of this lane is if we see Blackside and Cruxy play this right and they hold it back by tower and they bide their time, they're patient, you're going to see the assistance from the Odin. Odin is going to be able to lock Khepri and Medusa into the Ring of Spears, and that is going to be how this lane turns. If he's able to make that rotation, this could easily turn in Cruxy's favor by the level 7 or 8 mark once we see those first early rotations getting in. We're going to see two Bluestone Star coming out from the X-Ball with the Tier 1 Transcend, as well as Death's Toll, however, on the Medusa. This is really interesting, okay? Death's Toll and the first tier into Devourer's Gauntlet. So that's an unconventional build for Medusa right now. They're going for the ability to outbox the enemy carry instead of the early wave clear.
That is very interesting because that's not typically what you would think Medusa's strengths are.
Medusa, typically her strength is just ability-based bashing of the enemy carry. getting the acid spray hits off, waiting for the bluestone to tick. There is no bluestone here, so Cruxy could maybe take advantage of that here early, but as the game goes on, the Devour Gauntlet stacks get up, that's going to become a problem. We're going to see the first invade come in here. Homie going to make the rotation into the back camps here as Zeus and Odin try with that early wave clear. Hell and Willix actually out clearing the enemy pairing, which is something we didn't see happening.
Yeah, as you mentioned a little bit earlier, the Odin rotation is going to be very important. How soon does Odin really need to start getting absolutely terrified of a Willix?
Level 5. Level 5 is where he gets absolutely terrified, and he needs to be careful of the rotations for Willix. And Willix does have that movement speed when she jumps on her mount and is able to traverse the map faster than Odin. That is just a fact. So he needs to be smart here. He needs to be smart and be able to out-rotate the enemy jungler. And that's going to be tough when you're against such an experienced player like Homie. But in the same breath, T-Small experience in his own right. So it'll be interesting to see. This is going to be a battle of the minds.
Yeah, I looked really quick over at Guan Yu, but it does look like Medusa might try to open up here, and Khepri is going to follow up with the initiation. They're getting a lot of solid damage in on Sobek. Sobek's just trying to get out of there. Medusa does get thrown into the tower, though, but manages not to take a hit, and it looks like everyone is going to walk away without any deaths on the board.
I want to see my buddy Cruxy here, and he made the smart play. Instead of getting greedy, walking up to Medusa, he knew that she was tight on level 5, and if a minion went down anywhere under tower, that she might have leveled up. So he just backed it off just a little bit, played it safe. He knew that Odin was in and around that side of the jungle. So that is huge, that he was able just to back off there. That could have been turned bad. Just an acid spray or anything could have really turned that against Cruxy there. He only had 2 bars of health as well as Black's Eye, so good job by him to be passive there.
Yeah, getting too aggressive there definitely could have caused a first blood against them. But looking right now, farms look to be pretty even. We are seeing it favor XGN just a little bit. They are slightly ahead on gold. But 3 minutes in, no first blood.
I mean that's like gold difference. Just really comes down to the... If you look at the mid lane and you look at the dual lane, that kind of allots for that. We don't have a full item on any character right now in regards to the gold advantage, so it's not a huge deal. It might be a huge deal in regards to Medusa getting her Devour Gauntlets on first, but you know, over Transcendence, which isn't huge as long as Cruxy continues to play the game he's playing here. We're going to see the Willix making the rotation in. She's going to wait on the side lane here by the attack speed camp, looking for any opening, and she sees Black's Eye is nice and low. Going to hit the side of Black's Eye, not going to be able to get the knock up to combo with the ultimate.
Yeah, so the gauntlets, when can Medusa actually get them online? Right now, we're seeing about 1,000 gold in hand.
And she's getting close. She's only a couple hundred gold off from getting those online. We're going to look at a Willix, though, going to get into the purple buff and going to be able to steal that away. That's a lot of invasions on the jungle camps on the side of Aware there. They're just getting drained on XP right now. You're also going to see mid Harpies going the way of XGN as well, and that is what you don't want to have happen. Every time those mid Harpies go to the enemy team, that's a 220 XP deficit, and that just continues to combo in this game.
Yeah,
Here's
snowballing, that's kind of been what most games have fallen to. We're going to see Zeus try to push them off these Harpies, but it looks like it's a failed attempt. The Harpies are going to go down once again for XGN.
Yeah, and the way you have to look at this right now, if you're aware, you have to look at this and say, guys, that isn't just we could have just split on mid Harpies, it would have been fine. 220 XP on either side, but now we are in a 440 XP deficit after those mid Harpies. Yeah, okay, there was a 3-way split on the side of XGN, but they denied 220 XP. That is a gain for them.
Yeah, that's huge. This matchup also being incredibly important for Aware. Like, just looking at how the season is going right now, Aware's not in a particularly strong place. They came in ranked very highly on game battles, and we talked about that before the matches actually started, and you said a lot of that was just the fact that they've been together as a team longer than pretty much any other Xbox team. Am I correct?
That could be a false identifier, is kind of what I was getting at, because they've been around so long, and the roster mania that has struck a lot of other teams hadn't struck Aware until recently. Because you've seen those moves. Aggro, he's been with that team forever. All the way back to PC, these guys played together. And he has made the move to elevate to replace Clow. So, I mean, that is a big roster move there. And that you have to think that's going to affect the team chemistry here a little bit. You're bringing in Yubbs, who's actually an Elevate sub there for quite a while. He came from Travesty, which was Hoppo's team. They went to LAN. Obviously, we're upset by XGN, so a little bit of a narrative there as well coming in there. And we've got Cruxy coming off Team Solo Queue. Traditionally, here we go. Owen with the Ring of Spears, down on top of Hell. but here is the Zeus ultimate as well, and we see the Willix pull going to go down, but Zeus going to pick up the kill there on Mace to the face, and that is first blood on the side of Aware.
What a beautiful kill that was, too. Really good team coordination there. We saw both those ultimates go down, and it really just did the work it needed to do.
That was a good job there by Odin. He didn't have to use the jump. He managed to get in there, and Willix used the pull after the fact there with the knockup. So you have to take that as a win there for Aware. That was big for them, and you're going to look at the XP charts. Everything's still in favor. Gold and XP in favor of XGN right now, but you have to think that first blood is going to get some items online for Odin and Zeus.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely will. We have one more pause coming in. Another player appears to have crashed out of the Xbox client, so we are working on getting them back in right now. But like you said, that first blood definitely going to count in the long run, get some items online. Looking at Kepri, he has an absolutely insane amount of gold in hand. He's got almost 2.5k gold in hand. So I'm assuming he'll actually be picking up something too, although he is on XGN. So he might be getting something online. What build is he going with though right now?
Who are we talking about?
We're actually talking about Kepri right now.
About Kepri? Kepri's going to look to... Okay, here's the thing that's kind of fallen out of favor. We see Traveler's Boots a lot, okay? We're not seeing that so much anymore. We're actually seeing a lot of the pros going for the cooldown and the Magic Pen boots. On Kepri, I say we're going to see those cooldown boots going to be whipped out here. We may see Travelers for the gold lead, but he doesn't really need it. I mean, he is up gold on the enemy support right now, and he is managing to make the rotations and farm with his team. So we're probably going to see cooldown boots, I'm going to guess, out of Kepri.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to see the squad actually move back in. They're just all over this jungle right now. They're going right for the Gold Fury.
We're going to see an early Gold Fury, and these can be a problem, Rich. These early Gold Furies, because they don't scale well. Okay, so if you get upset here or someone notices that you're going to get this Gold Fury, it's not worth a hell of a lot.
Yeah, it really isn't worth a hell of a lot, but they're going to take it with almost no contest at all. Odin's running in right now, backs away. He already knows he lost the fight.
Yeah,
but
you're going
like
to have
you
to chalk
said,
that up to experience there for XGN. Obviously, coming from the SPL, they knew to time that. They knew Odin had gone back. They knew they pushed these guys out of lane. And they had the timers there to know how long it was going to take them back to lane. And it's those little intricacies, I think, that set apart the pro scene on PC from Xbox right now, is these guys have had the time to go in. I mean, if you played FPSs at all, Rich, in a scrim environment, you know that you go on maps for hours as a team, and you just, you get all the little intricacies out. So that's the type of thing that this PC players done as well. They probably know how long it takes Odin to walk up with tier 2 boots from the Titan all the way to that Gold Fury.
Oh yeah, definitely. They know all the timing. They definitely know all the strategy, and we knew all of that was going to carry over. But the question that is in everyone's mind right now is, how hard is it actually going to be to make the transition to Xbox? Using a controller is definitely very different. How do you pull off things like body blocking? How do you pull off a lot of those little tiny mechanical skills? And that's still to be seen. They did perform really well, though, in their last matchup. They did manage to split, and that was the first time that anyone from the Denial team that actually played on Xbox, they actually had bought their Xboxes that day.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy, but we saw that from Release as well. Okay, Shing's team, who actually came from Denial. After he was released from Denial, he made his move over to the PC with the War Machine, who is formerly known as Hightower, former Challenger Cup players and well-known jousters. So they all were bought Xboxes a day before a tournament and actually came out and won the MLG 10K tournament, which got them into the Pro League. Here we're going to see Ring of Spears going down to mid-rich.
Yeah, this is looking pretty dangerous right now for XGN. We're going to see Zeus take down Mace to the face. That's the second time he's managed to bring him down.
Yeah, we're going to see that nice pluck from Sobek there. He's going to toss him on the Ring of Spears there, but he knew that it was just about to be up. Good communication by the team there. They knew that Hell was nice and low, and with that toss, they secured the kill even though they tossed her out of the Ring of Spears, giving her the opportunity to possibly heal up, but her health was so low, they just comboed that well and had the communication there to make sure they secured it. Take a look at Medusa.
Yeah, actually right now though, Mace, we're going to take a look at Medusa, but Mace is in kind of a bad place right now. Medusa is going to manage to disengage here. But
yeah, we're going to see that riptail.
Mace right now, KDA, he's down 2. It's a little early, but still, he's only level 9. How do you come back from that when you're matched up against Zeus in the mid lane?
Look at this fight here as the Talus Self going down. Yub's going to get dashed on as well. Yub's very low here. They're going to try for the body block. They're not going to be able to get it, but they're going to be able to land that stun from the Jing Chen to be able to secure Yub's life just for now. He got away with it, right? I can't see how much health he had, but it wasn't very much.
Oh yeah, no, that was a very narrow escape.
Yeah, it's very, very narrow. We're going to see the dash missed by Sobek here in the dual lane. However, Bronx down to about half health.
Yeah, everyone is starting to get a little bit more aggressive, and a lot of that is builds coming online, experience really starting to come in. We're seeing everyone around level 10 right now. This is when we're going to start to see more team fights, correct? Around the 10-minute mark?
Yeah, around 10 minutes. You know, we're getting to level 10, level 11 now, and that's where you see a lot more team fights over the objective control, like mid lane. You start seeing pressure on the towers come up as well. Going back to hell, though, Rich, I mean, even with the...
Oh, we might see Medusa go down right here, right now. We do see Kepri trying to keep her up, but Sobek is going down with his ultimate. He's going to manage to get the kill.
Yeah, slick Kepri ult there to keep Bronx alive there, but not able to close the gap there to get away. Blackside taking a lot of damage there from creeps as well. He was low even when the lurking the water spot. Look at mid.
Yeah, looking at mid, we have a lot of action going down. Looking right at hell, though, right now, it does look like they're going to be able to get away.
This is the type of thing we're talking about. You see how they went to about half health all the way to full with the Guan Yu and hell?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Everyone did not look healthy, and now we're looking at Mace to the face, and we're looking at a Wheelix, and they're full health.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this combo is meant to do. It's supposed to win the sustain war, and that's what we'll continue to see from these guys. The thing to note there that was really cool is that Odin, just to create separation from Yub, so we didn't see the tower dive from the Guan Yu and the Awilix with the pounce, was that he put the Ring of Spears down to block off the entire lane, angling around the tower to create space between him and Yub. So good job by him to secure the life of Yubs there in the mid lane.
It does look like we're seeing a little bit of rotation here. We're going to see a Wheelix move up with Guan Yu. They might try to get the kill on Jing Chen here, but there's definitely no way they're going to be able to kill him.
They had to be careful here. Jing Chen does have this ultimate and could easily flick them back in the tower. Bobby in a little bit of trouble. Drelo, aka, as well as Sobek makes the rotation. There's going to be 4 men, however, on the side of XGN.
Yeah, and it looks like XGN's going to be able to bully them out while they take the mana camp right now. Kepri's going to continue to push in some damage. Sobek moving back in, though, right now is going to throw Guan Yu into the position that potentially his teammates might be able to hit him, but it looks like we're going to have a disengage from Aware.
Real nice play there by Freddy, aka Shadowq, to get in there and the dash, but Sobek even nicer to get his dash out of the Kepri dash. So interesting to see both of those, the excellent timing right there. Look at Medusa to make the rotation on X-Ball. We might see some boxing.
Yeah, we might see a little bit of boxing here, but it does look like Shibalanka is going to be a little bit too scary. Medusa's going to run away.
Interesting to note that Cruxy actually able to outbox the enemy carry there, and you have to think that that's just due to experience on Xbox and used to the controller, as it is quite a bit of a skill gap to get used to that. I mean, you just can't move as well.
Oh, it looks like Sobek was going to try to bring down Hell, moved a little bit out of position, and it was punished by XGN, and XGN's going to put their first kill up on the board. Now we're at 1-3, looking over at the graphs. Still pretty even on the XP front, and we're going to quickly see everyone from the XGN team move over to the Gold Fury. They're looking for a team fight here.
I'd like to point out that before that, when that last Gold Fury happened, there was 2,000 XP in favor of XGN, so Aware has narrowed the gap. We're going to see a big team fight happen here now. As Guan Yu is on the backline, Yub's taking a lot of damage as the Zeus ult is popped. We're going to see Bobby with the conviction to heal everyone back up. Yub's in a lot of trouble here now. Here's the Jing Chen ult, and that's going to toss them all back to create some space for his team there. T-Small going to get on out of there.
Yeah, this is looking like we might see XGN pick up one more kill here. Jing Chen does manage to disengage, though, just in the nick of time. XGN's looking incredibly strong in a team fight. Like you said, their sustain is absolutely insane. Look how healthy they are while they take down this Gold Fury.
If they continue to play this, the experience of XGN is showing here. They're able to get in, do a little bit of damage, back off. Let Guan Yu go in, assault the backline, let them walk back with conviction, heal up the team. And that's what they're going to continue to do to try and secure these objectives.
Shibalanka's ult has just gone off. XGN gets the Gold Fury. Kepri's getting a little bit unhealthy, but Hell's able to heal him back up. And they're going to be able to push in more damage against the Aware squad. And it looks like we might see Sobek go down here. He is going to manage to disengage, and Cruxy's going to manage to pick off Medusa. And the fight's not over yet. Mace to the face goes down for the 3rd time.
Just all over there getting those stacks as we see T-Small just escaping with a sliver of health. Cruxy getting in, however, now on Black Small as well. They're going to take mid Harpies instead. Look at the positioning at Cruxy last game. He came in from the back of mid Harpies there, came in from the blind spot of the enemy team. That's the interesting thing about Smite, Rich, is that you can come in from those blind spots.
Yeah, Cruxy just the all-star of that team fight, too. he managed to get everyone to stop moving with his ultimate there, and the positioning it worked out. He came in on that blind spot, and he picked up the kills he needed to pick up.
Yeah, you're going to see him. He's going to get a little bit extra damage and sustain out of his build here. Opted not to go with the boots nice and early as he went for tier 2 into Solier. So I think that might have helped him sustain through that team fight, the length of it from the beginning of Gold Fury as well. So interesting move by Cruxy that paid off for him.
Yeah, definitely paid off. Looking at the board right now, we are 50 minutes into this match. Aware Gaming has managed to take 5 kills, and XGN's only managed to take 1. Not to say that XGN does not look scary in a team fight, though, right now.
But this is a team game, Rich, and when you see that Gold Fury go down, they start to mean something at 14 minutes. So the gap isn't narrow if you look at the graphs. Only 500 in favor of Aware, and 1,958 in terms of gold for XGN.
Yeah, and we might see that change very soon, especially, like you said, if they keep nailing these objectives like they are right now.
Well, it can slowly snowball out of control, right? It just takes one Gold Fury here, one here, and with that sustain, they're going to be able to push them off the objectives like that. They'll continue to do it. 2,000 quickly turned to 8,000. If if we keep going at this rate, we could see 5,000 by 30 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, a snowball is probably what we're going to see here, because no one has like a huge lead. Someone just needs to slowly keep chipping away at the other team.
We're going to see an early Stone of Gaia coming out from Guan Yu. Gives him some health regen as well as his ability to sustain with his heal. Good pickup there, I think. Yeah, Jing Chen has that built-in HP 5 as well. So with that being noted, I mean, Guan Yu just wising up to that fact, and that gives him back his advantage with the heal.
Yeah, looking over at the duo lane a little bit, it does look like Shibalanka has gotten pretty scary. Medusa and Khepri have to be a little bit scared right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at the fact that they have 2 stacks on the X-Ball passive right now, that's a lot of extra attack damage.
Yeah, that is definitely a lot of extra attack damage. And he's got extra XP. Don't want to mess with him right now. It does look like Khepri, though, is going to try to move around the back and zone them out a little bit. He does dive in, manages to get a hit off on Shibalanka, and we're going to see a Wheelix rotate, too. This just pushes them back to their tower, though. We're going to have a slight disengage here.
Good call by Cruxy to wait on that jump, wait for the pull to be finished in duration. He probably knew that the 4-man rotation was coming, but good move for him just to wait for that to finish so he could get out of there nice and safe. Khepri didn't have the ability to close the gap anymore. Look at the mid lane.
Shibalanka's going to actually drop the ultimate to try to help out in mid lane.
Ring of Spears down, not going to be able to heal up as hell. She's going to get out, and she's able to heal now. They're going to be able to turn this back. There's the grab from Shadowq on Yubs. Yubs going to get rooted. Here is Candyman, however, making the rotation. Guan Yu coming in on his horse. His horse is amazing, and he's going to get back on Yubs, so now he's going to have to turn it around with the stun on T-Small.
Yeah, it just really looks like Aware is able to disrupt everything that XGN is trying to do, but XGN can just keep healing themselves up and try again. We're actually going to see Guan Yu try to dive this tower here. Sobek's getting a little bit low, but he should be able to get out. But it's looking dangerous for Jing Chen as well. Sobek gets petrified, and he goes down.
Sobek is going to take a ton of damage there as the Petrify was put at a point-blank range from Medusa. It's like she was using a shotgun right there as it just sprayed right in his face.
Yeah, the team fight's not over.
Here's T-Small.
That was an easy kill on T-Small. I'm kind of curious why he went back in. I know you want to save the tower there, but that was a little risky.
The thing that a lot of people might not have noticed from the site watching the show just there is that Willix actually popped the ultimate when Odin tried to jump there, and after the Ring of Spears was popped. Odin dropped that and tried to jump out, but Willix able to pull him back there with the steroid, and that's how he melted so incredibly fast.
Oh, okay, so that was something that we did mention they were going to have to worry about. And
yep.
definitely did the work that it needed to do there. Looking over at the solo lane right now, though, we might see a potential push on this tier 1 tower. Oh no, they're actually going to go right back into the jungle and start clearing objectives.
And this is what you need to do as XGN. That's the way they've been doing so well, is they've been maximizing their XP. They've been getting the wave clear, not letting anything get eaten up in the tower. They've been securing objectives, and that's the type of game they've been playing. They know they're not going to win the kills game with Hell. Hell's going to get killed. Okay, there's an Odin on that lane almost all the time. But the thing Hell's going to be able to contribute is the ability to wave clear now coming into late game, her ability to farm and get into a place where she can sustain for her team.
Yeah, the Hell pick is definitely paying off for them too. The sustain they have right now is just absolutely insane. We haven't seen a comp like this.
Look at the dual lane right now as the X-Ball ult goes down. He's going to have to jump out. There is a Willix on the chase as well. There are 3 members of Aware on the Gold Fury, however, as Cruxy is going to lead the 3 members of XGN right into the Gold Fury fight right now. Ring of Spears is going to be put down to help secure that objective, as Homie is going to use the ultimate to pull Cruxy out as well. Cruxy really low right now with a bar of health. He is going to get chased down, however, Mace to the face on the chase as well. Blackside taking a lot of damage as Bobby moving in with Homie.
What an incredible Ring of Spears that we just saw. We saw Guan Yu go up on his horse and he just could not go anywhere. It was a complete waste of the ability. Everyone from Aware manages to get away and they take that Gold Fury.
Gold Fury is going to go down here, but we could see the tier 2 loss on the side of XGN, and these objectives are almost worth the same as Gold Fury at this point. We're going to see Candyman coming in here. Bobby going to be taking down to half health. We've seen how quickly that can change. Candyman taking a lot of damage right now. He's going to be rooted as well. Bronx with a kill there as well.
Definitely not done yet either. Aware smells blood in the water. They're going to keep trying to push into XGN. XGN's going to try to heal up as much as they can. Ring of Spears does go down. We have quite a few people locked in there. Let's see if anyone goes down here. It looks like Mace of the Face is going to manage to take down T-Small while he still has his ultimate up, and Sobek's going to go down here too. Kepri's going to pick up that kill nice and easy. That is going to shift the kills. 6 kills for XGN. Now they are leading to the 5 kills that Aware has, and the fight's not over. Medusa's going to trade, and then Cruxy's actually going to push 2 through, manage to tie it up, and it looks like Medusa might go down 2 here, and Kepri's kind of unhealthy. Shivalanka cleaning up the board.
Cruxy just getting... Oh my god, the trade-off between the carries there, but excellent job by Cruxy. That was a bit of a throw by Aware there, but good job by Cruxy to get in there and able to stack that passive. 6 stacks on the X-Ball passive right now, and that has to be worrisome for XGN. XGN, though, just able to get in there, time that fight right, Mace to the face, not switching to his healing stance, which a lot of people do. He knew that that Ring of Spears was coming. He stayed in damage, was able to help burst down the enemy team. Huge turn.
What a crazy team fight. It was only Guan Yu left on the map for quite a bit of time there. But we are going to see the players start to move back into lane now, and they're moving towards Guan Yu. We're going to see Jing Chen. Odin might try to get up behind him, maybe look for a gank here, or just move back to mid lane after he picks up that mid Harpies camp.
The interesting thing to note about that team fight, I was watching the graphs. The graphs were spiraling crazy on both sides. We've seen XGN actually had a 4,000 XP difference. Now it's down to about 2,000. Gold difference now 3,500. So, I mean, like, Aware was able to turn that back around. Cruxy just with the hard carry so far.
Yeah, that is what your carry is supposed to do. We have seen so many Shivalanka carries not putting in the amount of damage that they're supposed to be doing, not getting the kills that they're supposed to be getting. But actually looking now on the KDA of Cruxy, it is absolutely mind-boggling. 6-1-3.
It's absolutely crazy. We're going to see Cruxy maybe in a little bit of trouble here now as Kepri is going to land the catch as well. He's just going to bounce on out of there. T-Small just stepping up to zone a little bit. He can't jump. He knows that as Willix is very close. We're going to see the 4-man push on the tier 1 tower on the left-hand side as Yubs makes the rotation over. That is more gold in favor of XGN right now, up to 4,000 after that push as well. Sobek and Jing Chen on the right-hand side of the map. Here's the big fight.
Yeah, this fight is not over. It looks like Medusa might go down, but we are going to see a little bit of a save there from Kepri, and Kepri's going to keep moving forward. Guan Yu putting in a solid amount of damage right under the tower. Medusa's going to manage to pick up the kill on Yubs, and they are still going for more. Jing Chen's going to try to attempt to throw Medusa into the tower. Not going to even take a hit. Guan Yu's still tanking them all. Guan Yu might go down to the tower, though, right now, and he is out of there. Shivalanka, though, falls to Medusa.
Just look at that sustain. One goes in, come back out, heal. Another one goes in, and they come back out, get healed, while the guy who was just in there comes back again. A Willis gonna get the pop up on the Sobek as T-Small comes in to try and save Candyman as well. And he's gonna have to be careful of that jump or actually Willis used that in the fight. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, it was already used. Now they're gonna easily take down this tier 2 tower, and look how healthy they are. I thought Guan Yu was gonna go down there for sure. He was down to a quarter health. He was healed up, got back in, and look at him right now. He's already back to about 3/4 bar of health. They're going to push down this Phoenix.
People don't get it. This is a healing meta. It's a Guardian meta, yes, but first and foremost, this is a healing meta as the Weakening Curse has been nerfed. And, you know, if you're not going to pick up the Circuit, if you're just going to rely on Odin, the problem comes, like we said earlier, is that the Willix is a hard counter here. We're going to see Mace to the face able to sustain a lot of damage here. As he was put in the Ring of Spears. That trick isn't going to work anymore. T-Small has to be careful of jumping in on 2 and 3 men versus the 1. He can't burst down hell like he used to.
Yeah, the second I saw that Ring of Spears go down, I wasn't sure if it was the right move at all. I almost wanted to just zone them out there. it looks like XGN might wait for this Gold Fury to come back down. Is this a move for the Gold Fury, or are they actually just trying to bait out a team fight? Oh, it looks like they'll just back. Play it safe.
Looks like Aware knew that was going to happen. They had a suspicion, but at this point in the game, you had to be careful of making the move, that rotation for Gold Fury, because just as easily the other team can make the rotation for Fire Giant.
Wheelix is in a bit of a tight spot here. We're going to see Aware Gaming open up on this Gold Fury, and Wheelix has to try to disrupt it at least a little bit. She's going to hop up on her Panther right now and do a little bit of a dance with Sobek, but we are going to see Khepri get here in time. Guan Yu is also here. We get reset. We get reset on this Gold Fury, and we might actually see somebody go down here. Sobek getting low in his ultimate. Shivalanka's ult is popped. Guan Yu continuing to push through damage, getting up on his horse. He manages to get the stun out on Xing Chen. Zeus laying down the shield, and it might be enough to just push off XGN here. They might take the Gold Fury, though, in the stead of Aware Gaming.
But look at the man, the myth, the legend, Cruxy making his move up here with Candyman. Let's see if they can make something happen here. Cruxy definitely capable with his ultimate of being able to steal this Gold Fury. We're going to see him move in, but blue team's going to secure that. Cruxy's going to have to bounce on out of here, and he has to be careful as Medusas make the move up. Look for the Petrify, but no, Xing Chen with the ult just to secure the escape for Cruxy, and he is going to be able to escape just like Xing Chen can, jumping and weaving away from the enemy team.
Yeah, we're not going to see XGN get greedy here and try to follow him. They knew if they did, they would be way too far out of position, and they would have gotten taken down by Aware Gaming. But XGN definitely looking really strong. This healing meta that you've been talking about the whole game, we are seeing it pay off.
Yeah, it's paying off big time. This, like I said, healing meta for sure. We're going to look at Shadow Q right now, chasing down Blackside. 2-level difference on these supports right now. Blackside taking a little bit of damage here now. Khepri just poking at him with his little bug claws. As Bobby is on the tier 1 tower here, we may finally see this go down here in the solo lane as 3 men from Aware don't even dare get close to the Guan Yu.
Yeah, there really wasn't anything they could do there. Guan Yu and Khepri looking so strong, and we have just been... That tower has been low for a very long time. I'm surprised it took them that long to get it down, but they are making their presence known on this map right now. They have taken down pretty much every tower. There's 1 tower left on the map for Aware Gaming, and XGN still has all 6 towers up.
Look for the pick on T-Small right here in the start of Fire Giant. Cruxy's on the other side of the map, clearing fire minions and going for a tier 1 tower, and that is going to be the cue for XGN to get in here and fight. Blackside already down to half health here. Hell is putting a ton of damage. Ring of Spear is actually going to miss Mace to the face. They are going to zone him off for the rest of his team. However, the healing reduction isn't going to be there. Guan Yu coming in on his horse once again, going to get the stun off. Not quite, as they are going to be able to disengage. Yubs is over as well right now. They're going to be able to disengage off the fire, get them disengaged off the Fire Giant as Cruxy continues to push for the tier 2. This may be worth it for Aware.
Yeah, we're going to really see XGN try to take down the Fire Giant here, but they are ready for this team fight. Khepri's going to get in there, and he digs his claws right in. Sobek's looking really unhealthy, and Khepri's going to manage to pick off that kill, and they're not done yet. They have Candyman in a bad position. He's going to keep trying. He's going to try to throw them off, but it might not be enough. Help manages to zone them while the team takes the Fire Giant.
Yeah, blue team is going to get that Fire Giant. Obviously, Aware was trying to go for a strat here to let Cruxy make the split push in, but XGN, with the experience here, there's the Medusa ult, going to hit 2 people in the back. At least going to get the slow off. We're going to see the Ring of Spears go down. Homie taking a bit of damage after picking up a kill on Yubs. See them take a tier 2 here as well, as Cruxy made the push for the Phoenix, and he's not going to be able to get back here, as Guan Yu's going to continue to pressure him. Beat's going to be popped on the side of Cruxy, and here are the auto attacks. No mana on the side of Cruxy. What are they doing?
Yeah, this does not look like the right play at all. We're just going to see XGN move right onto this Phoenix now.
Yeah, the funny thing about this whole Cruxy and Bobby bouncing around is Bobby's going to win that fight. The Mystical Male online there and going to prevent Cruxy from getting back there and disrupt this push on the Phoenix. He's actually going to pick up the kill on Cruxy finally. Yeah. Every time he tried to do his back there, the Mystical Male would rock on him, would prevent him from going back. So
yeah, and now we're just going to see this team fight.
A lot of damage.
This team fight is getting so bloody now. XGN just taking so much from Aware and managing to just heal up, just chipping away at their health. Even when they don't get the kills, they put them in a position where they just gain momentum and they can just zerg these Phoenixes right now. This is what we wanted to see from the old Denial esports team. They look like they're on PC right now.
Yeah, it looks like the controllers aren't affecting them too much. Bronx looking a little rusty there with the controller. For the most part, a little bit early. We're going to see Candyman jumping in the middle of these guys under Phoenix and taking more damage than he can dole out as the sustain is too strong. There's the two-man flick as Jing Chen puts them back under the non-existent Phoenix. T-Small being chased down now as well. There is the shield, and the Willis pull is going to get him as well. He's not going to be able to escape out. Blackside going to try and zone off the Titan here. They're going to be able to burn this, and he's going to be bursted down as well as Cruxy makes the move up. He's not going to have enough damage. Not for 5 min on Titan. It's 40%, 30%,
That's it.
20%. That's it.
GG. Kind of saw that one coming after we saw 2 people go down and 3 Phoenixes down. That was just good play from the XGN squad. It's the team comp too. Like you said, that team comp looked so strong.
I said they lost it in picks and bans. Right? They lost picks and bans.
You did say that they lost it, but at the end of the day, the healing meta, like you talked about, it's here. It's here. How long has that meta actually been in effect on PC?
PC, I think we're on nearing the 3rd patch, I believe.
Okay.
I think we're on the 2nd patch for Xbox as it stands right now.
Yeah, so we haven't seen too much of it in our league. This is the first time that we've actually seen someone pull off a comp like that, and I would be surprised if we did not see a lot of it soon.
Yeah, I mean, we see 16,000 player healing coming out from Hell, as well as 13,335 coming out from the Guan Yu. I mean, those are huge numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that, and you look at the player damage that you negated by having those 2 people, you've pretty much negated Sobek, Jing Chen, and Odin out of that entire game.
Yeah, and just watching the team fights too, how they were able to just kind of back up, heal up, get back in, and continue to push. Even if they didn't get the kill, they just gained momentum. They would chip away at the other player's health, and the sustain just doesn't last if you don't have the heals. Right.
The real interesting thing to note, though, look at Hell's build, okay? Cooldown boots to start off. Then the Void Stone, because she kept getting put into Odin's Ring of Spears.
Yeah.
And when she got put in there, she had a little bit of magic resist to deal with the Zeus ultimate. Plus, she had the magic protection reductions as well for the pen. Right? So with those things being put into perspective, right? Hell was able to just be putting that Ring of Spears, then with the Ethereal Staff, is going to have the defense to be able to withstand the Odin and the Zeus, and actually be able to outburst Odin in a Ring of Spears. And that's what we started to see happen at the end.
Yeah, we saw Odin try to drop down the ring, and he would get like Hell in there and someone else, and he would kind of have to just walk back. He just wanted to get out of his own ring a lot of the time.
Yeah, and that was the problem. We started to see it really got into the head of T-Small at one point. He started missing those Ring of Spears fairly regularly near the end of the game. And whether that's a product of Hell just getting wise to T-Small's strategy, or just Hell getting into his head, or it could be either.
Yeah. Now, coming into the next game, what do you think Aware really needs to do to switch this up and potentially take the win? Because Cruxy did look incredibly strong. They looked really strong early on, actually having an advantage, but this comp ended up not working out for them.
You're going to see, you're going to see some interesting picks here. It'd be interesting to see what happens with the X-Ball, okay? If we see the OP picks being left open once again, that's going to be a bit of an issue, okay? Because XGN doesn't want Cruxy on X-Ball now. They probably want that X-Ball pick, right?
Yeah.
He really showed that he can turn team fights with that, and they want to take that strength away if they really want to cripple these guys. The other thing you're going to see is you're going to see Aware wise up to the fact that they can't just pick Odin into a healing meta blindly. They need to wait. They need to bait that pick out. Okay, that should have been a Surcat.
That should have been a Surcat. I agree with you 100%. So right now we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we get back, we are going to see the second game of this match, and we will see if Aware Gaming can figure out a way to take down this XGN team that looks incredibly strong. We will see you soon.